National parks could also be shuttered if a government shutdown does happen. That includes Alcatraz Island in the San Francisco Bay. Our Kelsi Thorud is live at Marina Green in San Francisco. And Kelsi, some former parks officials have a request for the Trump administration if the government does indeed run out of funding.
Yeah, that's right, Ryan. You know, the interesting thing about this is the last time that the government shut down back in 2019, the Trump administration actually kept national parks open during that. But as you said, a group of former park superintendents have written a letter, sent it to the Trump administration, saying that if the government does indeed shut down again, they want the Trump administration to keep these national On a typical weekday, you can find tourists from all over the world taking the ferry to Alcatraz Island to tour the notorious former prison. But by Wednesday, the ferries may be docked and Alcatraz dark if the government shuts down.
We go to national parks a lot. That's where a lot of our travels are to. So that does cause a problem. And I hate that the people, the employees are collateral damage in the situation.
Emily Thompson is the executive director of the Coalition to Protect America's National Parks. She's worried that the Trump administration may try to keep the parks open during a shutdown with little or no staff.
You wouldn't visit a museum if there weren't any curators there. You wouldn't be flying if TSA isn't around to operate. Parks should be the same. If park rangers aren't available to staff the parks, they should be closed.
Last week, a group of dozens of former park superintendents sent a letter to President Trump asking he close the parks to the public if the government shuts down.
Without National Park Service staff in place to help orient visitors, to talk about safety, to protect delicate habitat and wildlife, we worry that if parks are just open, damage will happen.
Emily says that's exactly what happened when the Trump administration allowed national parks to remain open during the last government shutdown in 2019.
There was off-road vehicle use in several national parks, illegal camping, trash left at campsites. Visitors were allowed in spaces they wouldn't normally be allowed to access. With restrooms closed, there was human waste in places in parks that it shouldn't be.
Here in the Bay, we are spoiled with national parks, meaning if they were to close, it would have a huge impact on locals and tourists alike. This couple visiting from Texas told us they are not at all fans of Trump, but still want the parks to remain open if there is a shutdown.
He's going to, again, make it work for him. And he's going to do anything to make the Democrats look bad and him look good.
And this man from Canada told us he's a huge Trump fan, but he still isn't sure what the right decision is.
We know how people run amok when there's no supervision. So, yeah, I really don't know. I'd say I'd be in the middle. I agree with Trump in that we want to keep the parks open if we can, but there's got to be somebody there, right?
Emily told us she understands people's concerns, but still believes the parks should close.
It's not a great scenario. However, we would encourage you to schedule your visit for another time and to, urge your representatives to appropriately and fully fund our national parks.
And Emily says that in addition to this looming shutdown threat, that national parks are already actually dealing with a lot of budget cuts. Several parks have cut staff. They've also cut programs and even facilities. So, Ryan, we're all just going to have to wait and see what happens by Wednesday.